My name is George Bazzetti. I'm here to bring you something very important about special education. As a result of reading the August 16, 2007 Robert Tom Show Wall Street Journal article on RTI, this is my response and warning. As you hear all the time in the ideological wars concerning education funding and responsibility, special education is an unnecessary drain on the education community. The Bush administration's answer was the 2004 Response to Intervention, or RTI law. This law allows school districts to delay or simply not identify students who are seriously disabled or those who need proper testing by a qualified individual in order to be able to receive effective remediation as early as possible for their best personal outcome. As can be shown by the federal Jamie S. versus Milwaukee Public Schools lawsuit, filed in 2001, decided with information through 2005, 1 year after RTI was passed, and the case concluded in 2006. Please read the second trial fact and findings. These were seriously disadvantaged children were totally ignored. If you allow school districts to do whatever they want with no legal requirement for documentation or employee competence, they will do as little as possible and what will cost the least, not what's proper and their responsibility. This is now happening across the country. It is called the wait to fail approach. But the siren song of free money into the general fund is just too enticing. After all, who cares if we create the gulag of general education as described by Douglas Fuchs from Vanderbilt? This is a law with no standards, procedures, or due process. If this wasn't so seriously tragic in its consequences, it would be laughable on its content. Now I'm going to describe to you how if I am a school district official, we can take more than 50% of the categorical special education funds and inter-fund transfer them into the general fund for any use other than special education. This is to build up the general fund with no increase in normal funding sources at the expense of our most needy students who are disabled through no fault of their own. I will show you two different districts in the state of California, Elk Grove and the Los Angeles Unified School District, or LAUSD, the nation's second largest with more than 650,000 students in K through 12. Elk Grove has been using RTI for some time, and LAUSD, according to their special education director, Donalyn Jacques Anton, wants to implement it. California seems to allow, and so do other states, the same use of state funds as federal funds for RTI. State funds are 500% in general more than federal funds for special education in this state. Elk Grove special education funding recently was $44.7 million. LAUSD's was $598.3 million. Elk Grove cut its special education enrollment from 16 to 9%, a savings of 44% if you properly assume that they will continue to spend the same per student as before RTI. When you add the 15% allowance, you have a 59% reduction in special education funding with no loss in state or federal funding, and the transference of $26.3 million into the general fund at Elk Grove. And at LAUSD, if the same numbers would apply, 59% of $598 million is $352.8 million into the general fund for any use. Quite a temptation, isn't it? Think it's an accident? I don't think so. If we cannot take care of our neediest students, then I ask, how can we take care of anyone? Who's ready to step up to the plate to stop this tragedy? Please help. Thank you very much for your time.